Hello, my name is Georgie Kim, or original name is Ki-Hong Kim, and I teach entrepreneurship at Edison Academy at Handong Global University, and then also I run Institute of Entrepreneurship and Innovation at Handong Global University. This time, I like to talk to you about entrepreneurship, the very thing that makes a lot of things happening in this world and in this different country. And this particular time, I like to discuss with you what is the definition of entrepreneurship and what that does to the national economy and also the development of civilization. Evolution of entrepreneurship. What is the word entrepreneurship? What does that mean? It is very difficult to even spell in addition to pronunciation, and that's because it's a French word. So that means that maybe French has something to do with the origin of entrepreneurship, but it came from the French word called entreprendre, and that is undertake. What does undertake mean? Undertake means take something under. What that means is that someone does something hidden behind to contribute to the society. In other words, someone who organizes, manages, and assumes the risk of business are not known much to the other people, hidden from other people. In other words, there's a first trend in this entrepreneurship and a hint. Usually entrepreneurs don't come out the open and talk much about it until they are very, very successful, and then they are known automatically. So there's no actually single definition of entrepreneurship. The reason is because it evolved all different ways in our lives and in the society that there's no one definition of it, as if the seven blind people are trying to define the elephant. It is almost like that. So today we talk about what is the most important characteristic of entrepreneurship, and because that is what makes our life richer first, and then second, that contributes to the development of society. So there's a lot of research going on nowadays, because finally people realize the value of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship, a lot of people, if I ask, think that it is to do with starting a new business, especially making money, and making a small business. However, actually entrepreneurship is a lot more than that. For example, we all have been taught from elementary school that this society, the human society, started out with the Stone Age. So someone made some random shaped stone and then kind of cracked that to make it convenient to use as tool. But then someone discovered bronze. Bronze melts, but once it is shaped, it is a lot easier to shape and then last a long time, and it does a lot more job than stone tool. But many long time later, someone invented steel, which is much more harder and then last and enduring, and then you can make it into all different things. And who studied all this? Well, there must be some inventors and someone curious of different things in life, and they contributed for the betterment of the society in great deal because of their characteristic. So one characteristic that we talk about here is seeking opportunities. When there is an opportunity, well, let's explore it and see what we can do to make our lives better. Or taking risk beyond security. This is very important. I'm very comfortable. My parents is rich and I have been well educated. I don't have to do anything. I just live every day and I'm comfortable. So I don't do anything special. However, entrepreneurship mindset means that that's not what you are looking for, just mere security and taking risk. Risk here is actually a penalty you are paying to look at opportunities. And there are two kinds of risk here. What is a very, very unresponsible risk, that is that you take risk for nothing. It's called what is that word? But the other one is called calculated risk. That is that you are taking risk and you calculate how much of a penalty you pay because of risk, and then if that risk is better than or less than the benefit you may possibly gain, then you take it. So there are people who drive the cars in a very reckless way for nothing, and that is a kind of stupid risk. But someone may have to do that because there's a great need for going faster. If someone is dying or something, then I guess death is more costlier than some possibility of accident. So you take risk. The third characteristic is having tenacity to push an idea through reality. Once you knew that there is a great advantage of pursuing it at a certain amount of risk, then you push ahead. Those are the kind of characteristic people are talking about. But some other things that combines into special perspective that permeates entrepreneurs. In other words, that is a characteristic that is included in one's character. So I guess if you look at someone, and then if you look at that person is quite different than the regular person, perhaps that's an entrepreneur. In other words, is an integrated concept that permeates an individual's business in an innovative manner. If you look at business, but when I see business here, it's not just a money-making business, but everybody has their business. If I'm a teacher, now my business is teaching students. If someone is government worker, then that person is doing government work, whether making law or enforcing the law, maybe. But that business, and there is some entrepreneurial way to do it. Next slide. So a lot of people think that, well, entrepreneurship is making a small business, and that's one of the problem we have, that the word entrepreneurship is catching very popularity and everybody is gung-ho on this entrepreneurship. And of course, making small business is part of the definition of it. But if we understand entrepreneurship only as that, then we can take only small portion of the full advantages we can get by learning entrepreneurship. So small business owners who manages their business by expecting stable sales and profit and growth, but there are thousands and thousands of those small business owners, but in my opinion they are not all entrepreneurs, because there may be someone who is making living from small business, and for generations they are doing small business. They are just a small business owner, not necessarily entrepreneurs. However, real entrepreneurs I'm talking about here is those who focus their effort on innovation, profitability, and sustainable growth. In other words, someone looks at opportunities, not just looking at the safety and sustenance. In other words, those people who are looking for opportunities, not just for safety. If someone wants to be safe, Bill Gates would not have left Harvard he was going and founded Microsoft. If he was working or worrying about safety, he should have stayed at Harvard and then finished first. However, he left because he saw that the gain by taking advantage of the opportunities may be potentially a lot greater than the gain he may get by just graduating. So it's a calculated risk. Those are real entrepreneurs. So in one word, entrepreneurship is a symbol of a business tenacity and achievement if it is applied to business, especially money-making business. However, if your job is business of teaching, still you can apply the same tenacity and achievement in teaching. Or if you are an engineer, your wage will be coming anyway, no matter how much work or how less you work. However, you have a tenacity and achievement and achieve to find something that people didn't know, and then eventually that brings the benefit to the society. Entrepreneurship applied to engineering or teaching. So in other words, entrepreneurs are the pioneers of today's success in business, and that what I mean business here is all the things that everybody does for their day-to-day living. We know that the capitalism brings enormous benefit to the people unheard of in human history, and a symbol of success. Of course, that doesn't mean that it does not have any drawbacks, but nevertheless it's the best form of economic structure human being ever have invented. So that is symbolized by private enterprise. It's the most efficient form of pursuing the business, private enterprise, and that is done under the basis of rewarding those people who are working hard appropriately. So capitalism, in that sense, is a very much related with entrepreneurship, as you will see. And The Wealth of a Nation, the book written by Adam Smith, among other things, it talks about wealth of country. What determines wealth of a country? Wealth of a country can be determined by the wealth of the middle income people, common people like you or me. However, what makes the middle income people richer so the country become richer? Well, that is about to do with the markets, and how to make a market benefit all the everyday people, so that each circulation of goods will make people richer, and then also at the same time that meets the needs of the things needed for the life and make life better. And in order to do that, actually there needs to be right environment in order for entrepreneurs to function. Specifically, the book says there has to be 4 freedoms, or 4 rights, in other words: the property right, the right of fair competition, and right of profit, and right of selection. When any of those 4 important freedom is lacking, obviously the entrepreneurship, the kind of tenacity and the kind of driving force to creativeness will suffer. It has been shown many times, and existing even now. If you look at different countries, they have a varying degree of development, but also they have a varying degree of these rights. Of course, a lot of these rights are sort of like conflicting themselves here. If you have to have your right, someone else may lose their rights or something, so government has to make sure that everybody has fairness there, and that's probably the most important job that every government has to do. but also they tend to be forgotten. So entrepreneurship, the way I look at that is a catalyzer or trigger for growth and innovation, and the most desirable contributor or trait of a human being that contributed its development since the Stone Age. However, what I like to show here is that entrepreneurs are not necessarily just small companies. Small companies are useful. Small companies need our society. However, they are not entrepreneurs, the kind of entrepreneurs I'm describing. There are two kinds of entrepreneurs. One is subsistence entrepreneurship, and there is opportunistic entrepreneurship. Next time we will come back to the actual definition of entrepreneurship.